The internationally renowned dance company Step Africa is in Detroit as part of its 50-city tour. It's dedicated to the tradition of stepping and is bringing its performance called The Migration to Metro Detroit. We're pleased to have Brian Williams, founder and executive director of Step Africa, in the house, and Jakari Sherman, the director of Migration, both joining us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
So, Brian, tell us a little bit about Step Africa. What is it? What kind of dance troupe is it?
Well, we're very glad to be here in Detroit. Step Africa is the first professional company in the world dedicated to the tradition of stepping. Started about 23 years ago, based in Washington, D.C. And the company is really designed to preserve and promote the art form of stepping and also celebrate its use as an educational and motivational tool for young children. So we're here in Detroit, not just doing a performance on Friday at the DIA, but also workshops all across the city. And it's just been a great week already. We had a welcome reception last night and lots of activities all week.
Well, I've been watching them practice, and it is certainly a treat with just 4 of them. I can't imagine how all of Migration is going to look. I imagine it's going to be fantastic. But Jakari, tell folks who aren't familiar with stepping what stepping is.
So stepping is a percussive dance form that was created by African Americans in the maybe 1940s and 50s. And it's primarily using the body, the hands and feet as a way to make music. So we say when we step, we are musicians, essentially, dancers and musicians.
So the body is the instrument.
The body is the instrument. The body is the drum.
All right. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about Migration. What's the story that Migration tells?
So we're following the migration of African Americans, well, Africans in the first sort of forced migration into the United States or into the New World, and then the flow of African Americans at that point from the rural South into the North, seeking better opportunities, jobs, education.
And I think, this piece was inspired by Jacob Lawrence's Migration series, painted in 1940. And we got to thank the Knight Foundation, who has allowed us to bring this production and 5 of the panels from Jacob Lawrence's Migration series. That's one of the most amazing series of paintings I've ever seen. Right. 5 of them are at the DIA this week. So you can see the performance on Friday and also see Step Africa's interpretation of this tremendous movement of people into places like Detroit.
Right. Oh, absolutely, and certainly has reshaped the city of Detroit and its history.
And the country.
How's the reception been, and where are you guys on your 50-city tour?
Well, Step Africa tours every year. We'll be here for this week. We got workshops going on in the community, teaching children, matinees for children at the DIA, and then the performance Friday, October 13th. It's a lucky evening. Let's not worry about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Tickets still available. But from here, we'll go to Chile for about a week of performing in Santiago, and then we head off Broadway to New York City. So this is a great time for the city of Detroit to see a production that's on its way to Broadway's theater district. So they should come out and check it out and see it. It's a very special event.
And we can talk about it, but we can also show it, right?
Yeah, we can.
And we have some of the performers here. So let's go over and get a sample of what you can get for for Migration.
Taste.
Yeah, a little taste.
Detroit, Michigan. All right, y'all. Yeah.
All right.
That is incredible. And that is with 4 performers. How large is the troupe? How many
We're
people?
bringing 16 artists here, and it's live drummers, musicians, it's a whole range of performances. Not just stepping, but traditional West African dancing, drumming, jazz music, gospel music. It's an incredible show that most people watch it.
And tickets are still available. Where do people go for tickets?
Go to stepafrica.org, www.stepafrica.org. You can also go to the DIA's website, or you can also go to the DIA box office and buy them in person. And just really come out and see this put up. 7 o'clock Friday night.
Brian, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you, man.
Appreciate it. Jakari,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
you guys have a wonderful performance there. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Awesome.